All right, what's up, all my Silo fans? Brian, the Grizzly, I guess I am today. With Ted Kramer, we're the Spoiler Kings, going to talk about Silo Season 2, Episode 6. We're going to break it down. I got a couple of screenshots from the show. Had a lot of fun talking about this stuff with you guys, and we might have a special guest coming in very soon. Oh, looks like he's here. I got the man, the myth, the legend. Got Anzo in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Oh, feeling good, man. Definitely. Man, I'm gonna pass this to Tank because I'm gonna do the other show stuff, the screenshots. I want to go through the comments real quick.
To say what's up to everybody. We got Nikisha in the house. What's up? Looking forward to this. It was fun to see. I was right about one thing, very wrong about the other thing. Yep.
I was right about two things that I was like super excited about. I was like, what? I knew it.
What we got? We got Brogu in the house. It's a hello.
What's up, Brogu?
Dr. Deb, what is up?
Deb. Thank you for coming in.
And B's in the house saying, "Real talk, we doing Saturdays now."
Dude, this is what we're doing now. We're gonna do these episode breakdowns now. We're gonna knock out, Silo, which is just the best thing on Apple TV right now. I'm loving it.
It's the best thing on Apple TV. It just got number one. It's really ranking in the numbers for Apple TV. So yeah, but our Saturday show have been just one topic. Usually we're kind of like switching between a bunch of different things, but Saturday I think we're keeping that for a one topic kind of discussion, which is I think pretty fun.
I mean, it's perfect. I think it's cool to be able to do this. And then when we finish with Silo, we're gonna take a no break and go right into Severance. We're gonna figure out how to do both of them because one ends and then one begins the same time.
At the same day. I'm saying, oh man, we got
B. Thank you,
B coming in, dropping his third super on live, celebrating that. So appreciate your super chat for $4.99, Brandon. I need to, I need to do something for the Silo for like a thank you for Silo.
Oh, we could definitely do that.
Anybody got some ideas? Yeah, let me know. Like a little thank you kind of.
I know exactly. I got this. Next week we got it.
Next week.
But for now, let's just go ahead and give him one of our old ones.
Give him one of the good ones. Yeah, still one of my favorites.
Shit, got your ass.
So, from another great show. So. But yeah, appreciate B. Thank you so much, man. Hopefully we can get you on our Monday show. Monday we're gonna do like a subscriber appreciation kind of show. So we're gonna have everyone kind of come in, come out, come and hang out for like 5-10 minutes or so, and talk about what we want to talk about real quick, and then bring some more people on and stuff like that. So, but Brandon being a member, subscriber for a long time, always part of the chat. So
huge on the Facebook group. I appreciate you 100%.
Yep. Well, cool. Yeah. When the mic chat hit, I want to be on the panel. Yep. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, the MI8. I think misspelled.
I know he definitely will. He'll be all about that Tom Cruise stuff.
Yep. All right. For a thank you, can we show Bernard poisoning the judge?
Dude, you see that poor? He's not a poor man, but he is distraught.
He is.
When you go through this,
kind of broken.
Man, yeah,
it's kind of broken.
I 100% think that he will never forgive Sims, and if all hell breaks loose and he loses control of Silo, his only thought is going to be, how can I hurt Sims?
Yeah, payback, kind of. Yeah. And then we got Tony in the house. So it's Apple TV Plus punching Amazon in the chest. They're both doing really well right now, though. They're both doing really well right now.
Body shots, though, man. These are body shots. I mean, because when you got this and there's that Sevens right behind it, man.
But yeah, they're both doing pretty good. But I would give it to Apple, a little bit more to Apple.
Well, that's
But-
until some of these other shows come out, because I know Amazon Prime has some things coming out right now.
Mhm.
They're ready.
Mhm. Also, I know a little bit sidetrack. The Secret Leveling show, the animated with the anthology about the video game kind of stuff,
Mhm.
amazing. Some of those were like works of art. Holy crap!
Me and Oz were talking about that, and then he was pissed off about Mega Man.
I was too. Oh, I was so hyped. I was so hyped, Anzo. Like I was telling Brian, I'm like, "Holy shit! You see this? It's so great!" And then the episode
6
happened, and it
minutes.
was like, "Yeah, bro,
6 minutes.
I was
It's just
so livid. I was so upset, man. I was so pissed because it was great for what we got. I wanted more.
Brian said it's going to be a 2-parter, which I was like, okay, but
they're
still,
supposed to give you another Mega Man.
You
I
only
hope
gave us 6 minutes of the show. You know what I mean? That was the one I was looking forward to at the most. That one
Yeah,
and the
same.
Pac-Man one.
Pac-Man one was awesome too. That was up there, you know. But yeah, but if you haven't checked that out on Amazon, go check that one out. It's really fun.
All right, we got Nikisha in too.
Thanks for the recommendation. Oh yeah. All right. So I wonder if Bernard's plan was had he not killed the judge before the impeachment rumor, he was still planning because he never had her suit made. So what was he gonna do?
I 100% think Bernard was trying to find a way to get back into her life.
Yeah,
he wanted a way back in.
Yeah, I think the suit was also like, oh, don't worry, it's getting made. It's getting made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And then, next thing it's like a year later. So it's like
they're having candlelit dinners.
Do
you really want to go outside?
I said he was never gonna let her go.
Nah,
I didn't know if he was gonna kill her or not, but there was no way he was gonna let her go aside. Just not gonna happen.
No.
I mean, why would he want that? That's his love, and that's what we're seeing. This is the love of his life, and because of his job, because of the pact, because all this stuff, he's let her go, and he had to put her in his plan, into his calculus, as he put it in the math, and he will never forgive Sims for it. I mean, literally, that is the most important thing, and I think he's going to try to take something away from Sims. I don't know if it's going to be his son. I don't know if it's going to be his wife. He's going to try to take something away.
I think it's going to be the wife, because it's a double whammy.
Camille?
Because she causes some issues, and it gives him that revenge part too. So we'll see.
I definitely feel on that. All right, well, let's try to get into this breakdown then.
All right.
About the right one.
Down.
All right. Yeah, she said, "Yes, I'm definitely worried about Camille." She is playing a dangerous game, and Bernard doesn't like people that are smart or almost as smart as him and good planning skills and all that stuff. He doesn't like that. He's gonna call him an attacker. So I don't know how that's going to work for him.
Yeah, she's playing a dangerous game.
I agree. He will likely give Sims an impossible choice of his wife or the silo, and he will choose his wife and silo.
Yes. You know it, Tony. You know it.
Said Bernard will retaliate for it. 100%. This is we're going to see it. But we saw a big step in this episode. Well, let's get to the breakdown and we'll go over it together. And see, we were surprised because I think I called this last week with Bernard. So, all right. So we start the episode. We get to here. We see the blockade, and now they're not letting food come in, which is a big thing. I was surprised. Well, I guess it wasn't. They're stopping all deliveries, and I think it was a smart move. And it was obvious that Bernard was the one in charge of that, and and they didn't seem like the regular people seemed surprised, but I don't feel like all of the leadership down there, in engineering and were surprised of his actions.
Knox knew it was coming, I think.
Knox seems to be really, really smart about this thing. The
He's
more
like
and more
one
we
step
be around,
ahead. Yeah.
we're starting to see like, oh, this dude's it. He might be him.
Facts.
And Akeisha, I'll get to the point where I can say I was right about them too. Knox and Shirley.
Oh yeah.
You said they were gonna have something.
You saw the attraction between them, and I know, and a lot of people thought Shirley, only like girls that look that way, but this is Future. The way your hair looks and all the other stuff, and she's normally you see her as an actor, she's an attractive girl, so I could definitely see them feeling the same way, starting to feel that way about each other as they went along. So, all right. So Bernard is obviously in his command center, looking at everything, talking about like, this is exactly my plan. I know exactly what they're going to do. I know what the next move is, and there's something interesting that he said. It takes 9 missed meals to turn any revolution on its head, basically. And that is a great plan, because 9 missed meals, people start saying, so what about me? What about my kids? How are we going to eat? How are these things going to happen? And exactly what he said is going to happen. The next scene.
It didn't even take 9. It didn't even take 1 yet.
They said, wait, we can't eat breakfast?
Yeah.
It was all over.
Yeah.
I thought that was so smart. Listen, Keisha said, I'm sorry. Yes, Brian, you're right. I'm sure. I still haven't seen anyone else predict that. You're definitely got a clip when he first said the bragging rights. I'm telling you, it makes so much for Shirley to be Bernard and Judge Meadows' daughter. It makes so much sense. And then that's why you wrap the whole intrigue about her and her being the total opposite side, and Bernard having to decide, am I going to kill her, and then finding out the truth. A letter from Judge Meadows to him that she never wrote and that never sent. Look, because we all think the point was for Bernard, find out what this letter is for the silo. What if that hard drive also had a letter from her to him?
Interesting.
That'd be interesting. Like another love letter with another coded message, possibly.
Another coded message. Cool. And hey, we had a daughter. This is what I did for the last 4 days. Or maybe she leaves it in her room for him. He starts going through because he's really missing her, and he finds the letter and spells out, hey, we had the daughter. And then he looks at Shirley because he's about to execute her, and it hits him.
Interesting.
So, yeah, brilliant line. I mean, it was so smart. I gotta say, so shit, 2 missed meals, and I'm fighting everybody.
By the end of the day, you miss dinner and breakfast. Game over.
You ever not have breakfast like you used to having breakfast, not have breakfast, and how angry you are about lunch? So people get mean when they miss a meal. Absolutely, I agree. So, plus, I think Walker knows. Yeah, that's why it was so easy for Walker to raise Juliette. She already was helping to raise Shirley, and that's why Shirley's dad wasn't really Shirley's dad. He was just the person that she was staying with. I wouldn't even be surprised if the doctor knows.
Well, he would have to, right?
Dr. Nichols, yeah, because he's the one that helped deliver her.
Yeah.
Man. So he's doing all the stuff from his command center. We come back to engineering, and they're saying there's a problem with a lot of food. When I came in today, we saw the food, and it had this purple substance on it, and blue substance on it, and it was like, so what is it? And he said, well, the only blue thing I know like that is rat poisoning. So my question to you guys is, who do you think poisoned it? Because this was food that they already had.
I was just about to ask you that. Who do you think the mole is?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, this is food we already had.
So who did this?
Sorry. There we go.
I was doing the same
I had to find the right one.
that's why. As you were doing, I was doing it. But yeah, who do you think? Yeah, who do you guys think?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I'm guessing it's probably somebody they might introduce, like somebody new or a nobody. You know, somebody who is just a character that can literally get killed off, and you know, they were just there just to do this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What about that? The guy that Sims tried to hire. Remember, he tried to hire him to go undercover and stuff like that. Maybe it's him.
He's dead. Oh no, Sims went undercover.
Yeah.
Who did Sims try to get undercover?
It was one of those the same type. What are they called?
He's a retired guy. Remember, he's a retired.
Oh, that's
guy.
right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't seen anything about him in a while.
exactly.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good call. I completely forgot about him.
Yeah,
I think they wanted you to, right?
Yeah.
They put that little caveat in there and they never spoke about it again because they wanted you to forget about him. He's probably the one that's sneaking around poison food.
I actually think it's the ex-secretary who's stuck down below, even though she lives on 85, and they wouldn't let her go back up.
Nice call.
Could be.
That'd be a good one too.
Saying, hey, why can't I can't get back up? I can't get back up. Oh, you want to get back up? Go poison all their food and we'll let you up.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good one, because then it would show you how desperate people would get in the silo. You know, once stuff is starting to take away from them, you can literally put anybody against anybody. You know,
and then you're not really introducing a new character. She already had a little problem. So,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then also like goes against her integrity, because she seems like somebody who had some like moral compass. You know, so if you do something like that, kind of starts to question even a good person.
Mm-hmm. And that, once again, he said 9 missed meals ends any revolution, basically. It's a good call, Nikisha. I suspect 4 missing days were spent down with Walker deciding the letter, or deciding it, or recovering. And Grogu said there's somebody working in harmony with Bernard. Exactly. There's someone
there has to be,
Bernard can touch that he's able to touch.
Mm-hmm.
Radio silence. I don't know. If Brian is correct, the 4 days were probably giving birth and recovery. Exactly.
Yeah.
Giving birth, figuring out what to do with the baby, recovering, and then going back up. And then she can never. I can't stay here with you, because I mean, you've seen women who had that or that has had to deal with something like that. And I can't look at you in the face. We look at that from all the time, right? Tabitha, right? Can't for being Anzo, you can't look Jim. She was so mad at the beginning because they lost a kid, right? It's the same thing. You lose a kid, you can't look at that person in the face. So I think that's it. Why she had to leave, even though she loved him, and she even said, Judge Meadows said that, hey, I could have spent my entire life with you, 25 years, no question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be it too. I want the trader to be a random person, not someone we care about.
That's what I was kind of going for too. But Anzo and Brian, those were good ones. I like that.
I think it makes more sense for it to be someone that we've seen but haven't really, followed a lot. So it makes more sense for that. It's like, oh, I can't believe that person did that, or something like that.
Like, this goes against everything that you were supposed to be about, and now you're doing this. Yeah. Say, what's up, Brand Man? It's a good one. It'll be Sandy, the secretary. Yeah, would be cool, because the first lesson she told Juliette, I don't know what you people eat down in the deep. Exactly. It's like full circle. Now she's stuck there, and the only way to get back away from this is to poison it.
Makes sense.
And decoding. Sorry for the typos. So I can't imagine having to walk up the silo after having a whole baby. That poor woman.
Oof.
But think about it, she went into her room and didn't come out. She told Bernard her thing, and she basically stayed there for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love good foreshadowing, and this show does it excellent.
Yeah, it does it really well.
All right. So we pass this scene and we start looking at the screen because, you know, we start seeing messages going in and Sheriff, I'm surprised I'm loving him as much as I am. Honestly, he has been almost a complete 180 from where I thought he was going to be. And he's having an identity crisis, right? It seems like, because he's trying to figure out, should I follow the pact or is this all BS?
Well, he's starting to question. I mean, ever since he saw the brochure, you know, he's starting to question things now. So, you know, and he keeps getting more and more deeper into the rabbit hole, you know, and finding out the truth. So,
and we see a lot of that in this episode, right?
Yeah.
See, Billings is doing that. While that's happening, engineering is already falling apart. so Shirley and Knox are out there trying to say, "Shut up! We're going to do this. We can come together." And all of them like, "Boo! Where about my kids?" You know. So, and then of course, but Walker gets up, tells everyone, "Shut the hell up. This is what we are about. These are our people. Do you want to give them up? Do you want to give me up? You want us to go out there and clean? You want to see us on the screen cleaning? Will that make you feel better? And then we die on that hill? Or do you want to do what we do here? We band together. We share. We do everything we need for each other." After that great speech, you see them come in with some old food that people throw away. That's such the American way. We throw away good food all the damn time. So I saw that, and you see how elated they are, and he becomes like almost a hero. And isn't becoming? It's almost seeming like they're becoming not like Robin Hood or something like that, but they're becoming a man of the people. Like this, they know they're fugitives, but they can't be touched. You know, so I mean, this is a very cool storyline between Knox and Shirley. So, being in engineering, my question to you guys now is: so it's engineering, mechanical, and supply. If all three of them band together, are they strong enough to take on the rest of the silo?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I think they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
those varying facets as unified as one. Absolutely.
You know, and it goes back to, like, you know, what we always talk about. Everyone thinks they're the most important part of the silo, but you know that the whole point is made to prevent them from teaming up. So as you know, three of the most important parts of the silo start teaming up, it's scary.
I agree.
It's scary.
I almost think like it's showing us what happened in Silo 17. The sheriffs below, you know, with all these people, they're finding out truths. You know, mechanical is because it's always blaming engineering. Mechanical, engineering, and supplier all together because they have relationships between people and the leaders that band them together, right? And then along with the sheriff, if he decides to go that way, all of a sudden you have a revolution on your hands. It's hard to snuff out because it's not just one group of people. Brogu says the sheriff is starting to question things now. And did you notice that he's getting better as far as his illness is concerned? 100%.
Yep.
Billings his hand is not shaking anymore. All that syndrome that they said they had doesn't exist anymore.
I got a theory. When we get to that, I got a theory on it.
So do I. So do I think.
Oh,
I think we have the same. I think we have the same theory.
I like that foreshadowing. It's very interesting. I agree. So, they threw the food to them on purpose to help. They only used the trash for delivery to under the radar. And remember, they saw that they actually had a note inside that said, this is from your supporters. I don't remember where it was, but I think I was like 130 or whatever. Yeah, they're their supporters, so they threw it down there, and that wasn't going to happen anymore. Bernard wasn't going to happen. Allow it to happen.
Yeah, he sent the Raiders something.
But he knew. He said, "Oh wow, that's right. That's a little bit ahead of schedule. That's great."
Yeah, he knew
exactly.
It was 122 because it was the farm, wasn't it?
It was. It was the farm, and that's what gave him the idea later on. Another good foreshadowing stuff. Thank you, Dr. Deb. Yeah. All right, we're going through that. So we saw the note that Billings had sent it to his wife. How's the baby? Miss you so much. We need the doctor down here. So she goes back. A character I did not think I was gonna like. I thought that she was terrible the entire time. Like, oh, she ain't for you.
I still don't trust her. I still don't trust her.
I'm starting to say maybe she loves her husband too much. Enough. That or I think her name is Kathleen, whatever. I think she loves her husband, and she's going to follow him, and she sees him getting better, and she's supporting him.
That is true.
But I agree. It was surprising as hell because I was waiting for her to just be like, "Oh, I'm happy in my life. I'm not leaving my nice, comfy, life with my husband being the sheriff of the silo in my high position." But then she doesn't just find the doctor, Dr. Nichols. She goes with him.
She goes with him. Yeah. That caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So, once again, Bernard is learning about all this stuff that's going on. He's not happy. Tells him, hey, you better go fix it. You better go find these people. Then we got Billings going in, trying to find Walker. They're really trying for Knox and and Shirley trying to figure out, but they want answers. And that's what seems that Billings is becoming. He's becoming more of a detective and less about the side. He wants the truth.
Yeah. He's all about the truth. Like he is, because he's so about the pack, So it's like there's no sides. There's just doing best for the silo kind of thing, And I think he's probably the only character that is actually about that, because everyone else says they are, Bernard lies, Sims, they're like, oh, it's about the silo, it's about silo. Bernard or Billings is the only one where it's like, no,
isn't it just
it is
because that's what he really believes. Like he truly believes in all this stuff.
I think so.
His background is great to see someone who's about the pact. He's questioning the pact, but he wants to know the truth. He believes at the end of the day, the pact will win out. So that's why he's open to figure out stuff. But they go to Walker, want some information from her, right? She's like, yeah, find out. He's like the head of supply. Find out she was taken on level 70. Find out where she is. Is she safe? What the heck's going on? If you ask me those questions again, and you have those answers, I'll talk to you. Until then, get the hell out of my house.
Yeah.
Walker's gangster.
I like that. And that's a good sum up of the character. That's probably the most apt sum up of the character, if we're being honest.
Do you remember when she said
nice.
Knox and Shirley, like she said, hey, you guys need to get out of here. And because they're patching up Knox from having that stuff, and she was calling him a little punk for hurt from the scratch. And she was like, you guys gotta get out of here because he's gonna come looking for you. And he said, but what about you? Well, it's gonna be easy to find me because I'm gonna be right here.
Yeah.
Standing right here. I ain't going nowhere. Like, that's gangster. That's the kind of person that would scare me a little bit.
Well, that's why they didn't argue with her, right?
It seems like that's why everyone in engineering down below trust her and know about her and say, hey, you don't went for Walker. She's the one to run this.
Yeah.
Said Berger says, yes, Billings is in search for the truth. It's actually refreshing to see someone doing that in the middle of all this chaos.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. All right, so go back. So you see, what's her name? Kathleen trying to come with the doctor. Tell him, hey, we need to get down below. The sheriff called for me. This is his wife. Let's go. And he's not about to let her go. He's like, man, I don't care who you are. You need to go back where you came from. And it's weird that he's saying all this because why would he say worry about them going down and they're not coming back up? So either way it goes, Dr. Nichols kind of lets them, finds a way to get through, and he goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So this show has a lot of good, strong female characters.
It really does.
Really does. I dare I say on the same level as the male ones, but no, like they're really well written, very well portrayed, and very well just acted characters that just happen to be women. It's I think it's really that's probably one of my favorite things about the show. Not only the ensemble aspect, but the balance of the ensemble aspect is my favorite thing, because it's a balancing act, how you jump from situation to situation to situation to arc to arc to arc. And it's one of the things that really hooks me when it comes to Silo, especially as someone who got into it late in the game. But the way that the way that it's handled and paced with all these with a handful of things going on.
Yeah.
A lot jumping around.
If you can handle that, you've done your job as far as I'm concerned, especially with something like this. So that's why the show's really working for me.
Yeah.
Got a question for you though. So I still feel like it's a little male-led Silo in name only. So, like, who's the head of IT? Who's the sheriff? Most times it was a guy for like all those times. But who was running the office? Right? It was a female. Who was Bernard's shadow? Right? Who was helping? Like, yes, Sims is doing all this stuff, but his wife is his 100% partner. It's almost like the woman. The man might be the head, but the women are the neck. They're the reason what you're turning. What you're gonna look at. They're the support of everything. Everything comes from them. So it's not just they could be leaders. They could be supporting characters, but they're like the most important of all of it.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the actual pact says women, once they get to have children, should only be vessels, like the Silo. Yet it seems no matter what the pact is saying, in every aspect of it, women are actually running it, which is like my house.
I'm trying to figure out how to word what I want to say because I agree with you, but I'm trying to figure out how to. It'll come to me, but we can keep this discussion going while I kind of hash out mentally how to put it into words. What I'm getting at. But no.
Patriarch society that's really still in its depths are being run by the women still. If that,
and that goes all the way back to episode 1 with Rashida Jones's character.
100%.
To Rebecca Ferguson's character, to Camila here, all the wives, so who are also like have kids, you know what I mean? Like Camila has a kid. Was it what's Billings' wife's name?
Kathleen.
Kathleen. Like she's literally carrying a kid
around while she's doing it, while she's helping patch people up, dealing with all this stuff,
running up and down, flights, hundreds of stairs.
Still haven't watched a single episode, but came to support. Appreciate that, team, man. You always got it, man. I always appreciate you.
Thanks for dropping through, man.
Also, check out the show, man. It is good. I think you'll like it.
You're gonna love it. But I think he's seen season 1. He's got season 2.
Oh, okay.
So yes, the show is great. Strong female characters, and the females aren't trying to emasculate the men to make themselves look strong. That's what I'm saying. They're allowing him to still be the head. No problem with that. But I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to be true partnership.
Yeah.
It's to allow you to be as good as you need to be and not be a problem with me, but understand that your job is to make sure I'm as good as I need to be and should never feel like I'm taking a seat back. And of course, Nikisha Cousin sounds like real life. It does sound like my life. Didn't James Brown tell us it's a man's world, but what would it be without women? Nothing.
but James Brown was high all the time as well, right? So let's not forget that.
That's funny coming from you. Speaking of strong women, we got Camille right on the screen right now. With Bernard coming to challenge her. So you had them in custody. And why would you think that this is okay? Why would you do this?
Mm-hmm.
And Camille didn't even sweat. She had answers right off. Like she was like, look, no, they're going to kill him. I know I'm looking at the pact. I'm just trying to follow the laws exactly to the T. This is my job, right?
Yeah.
I'm an ex-raider. I know all the rules. I know all the laws. I'm trying to follow the exact way. She had a whole thing spill to a point where Bernard was like, getting frustrated. It's just like, what the hell? Everyone had all this good knowledge. What, that's the problem when you give a pack to every home. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Like he's trying to. This whole scene was really nice because he's trying to get her caught up on something, and she's just so smart and so quick on her feet and understands the rules that that. And I love like Bernard's reaction in here. It's just like sitting there. It looks like doesn't he like lick his like gums or something?
Yeah.
Like he's visually like is like I know you up to something. I know it, and I know. So yeah, it was a really good scene.
Camille is so interesting. I still don't know exactly what her goal is. She's badass for sure, though. 100%. So, am I wrong? But I like Camille. I do. I love her support, but she's not afraid to even make moves without telling them. Like, hey, your husband, like, whatever. I'm making these moves regardless, and hopefully, it helps you out in the end.
Yeah,
so Apple TV needs to create more hit TV shows like this.
They got
Shrinking is good, right?
Shrinking is good.
Shrinking is good. I'm finally starting to watch that.
Silo's been this. Now we're gonna have 4 seasons of Silo. Tell the whole story.
Yeah. But I heard the one with Jake Gyllenhaal, The Dark Matter, Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso was all over the place. Freaking years ago.
Ted Lasso was great though.
Yeah, the morning show. I mean, Apple's got some.
I watched the morning show after morning show.
It wasn't my cup of tea, but I know like it got a lot of ratings. I liked the first season, then the second season kind of got, and then I stopped kind of caring. But Apple needs to do a better job at marketing these great shows. That's the issue.
Apple doesn't know how to market. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Right? Like the king of marketing.
As you guys all put out your iPhones.
Not me.
Not me either. Droid. So they have a plan down in engineering and mechanical. So apparently we now know what happened when Noxie came when he went to the mechanical and said, don't make any weapons for anybody. Only make them for me. And they held on to all of them, and they pull off the tablecloth, and they have all these weapons and body armor and all this stuff. That was so cool to see them do that. He has a plan, and even though his first plan didn't work, he's all about revolution.
Yeah, I just like how like Knox for me in the beginning, I'm like, I don't trust him, and now he's just like, I'm behind him. I'm like, yep, bro, get it? Like you
that's my leader.
Yeah, like, but the show does really good jobs at like you think you know somebody, but then like when stuff really like starts to happen, their true character starts to show. So
yep.
Yeah,
I think the pressure reveals diamonds. But so he's up there distracting. He's super just there to distract, right? As they take a saw and cut through a different area so they can come in and rush them in 2 different ways. And we didn't know what the plan was. all we know is Shirley said, "Hey, we need to get up 10 more floors," right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get 10 more floors. So I'm like, why did they get to 120? I have no clue. Not thinking about the 122 that just sent them the vegetables because they get to 122. Now they got the farm. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna keep going. Then we hit the comments. So he's there, distracting them. Of course, they radio in. Here you go. Diego, armed greaser gang headed up to the barricade. Also saw a small gang headed the way of the stairs. One of the thugs had a rotary concrete saw. Aunt Doreen. So getting a note, and he's trying to tell him, and he says, "Don't worry about. I'm looking what I'm looking at. I'm ignoring him." Why that's happening, They finally make it to Billings. But his wife and the doctor gets there. You see the doctor in the back, doing what he needs to do. I thought Hank was hilarious when we saw the shadow try to take the bullet out, and he said,
"I got aspirin.
Aren't you forgetting something?" Aspirin. Like, it wasn't
I
even
died
like
laughing.
good aspirin. It was like
it sounded like there was 2 pills in there too. It was like
it
didn't sound like a full bottle.
I'm surprised Hank did just like I'm surprised he didn't even just slap him. He was like, "Look, what is wrong with you? You better give me something better than this." So, I thought what's it? His name's Patrick. Patrick
Kennedy. Yeah.
Kennedy. Yeah, he didn't just slap him.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So he takes his daughter, which he gets to see. He's surprised that she's there. Right? Like he didn't think that she will come there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's okay for us to be surprised, because if he's surprised, he gets to see his daughter, and I think that was an important scene.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted her down there because he knew something was going down. He knew it's going to get worse, and being up higher is obviously safer.
Is it though? And I think that was her point. It's dangerous everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why he's been down here for a little while, right? So
yeah,
it's been a bit since he's been back up top. So.
And he keeps sending messages to her, smiley faces, but she's like, "No, we together." He said, "Patrick is so funny. I'm glad he didn't die."
Yeah, I like that character from season 1.
So I agree. The show gives characters great arcs. You don't know who they are when you just meet them. That's the best part.
Yeah.
What happened to the redheaded guy who helped Patrick put the video up last season? Maybe he's in the mines.
He brings them up in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just said they just took them.
Yeah.
They got snatched, and then that was it. So I would assume mines,
Or is he the person that poisoned the food?
Is he down there?
Down there working, he can blend in with everybody because he's from there,
mm-hmm.
and he's doing all their dirty work like they had Patrick doing before.
Mm-hmm.
With the fire, throwing all that stuff. Yeah, maybe they both were on undercover missions.
Yeah,
to destabilize them. All right. So since he was ignored in the control center, he goes to find Sims and says, "Hey, look, they're coming in 2 waves, not just up to the barricade, but they're also cutting through the floor. We need to get someone over there." And Sims is like, "Okay, so who do I trust? I mean, what can I do? I'm a judge now. I can't do those things."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess is that he may be bagged and gagged in solitary.
Yeah, he could be drugged up.
Yeah.
I think my bro Grogu is hiding out down there and poisoning the food. Looking all cute and like, aren't you supposed to be training over there somewhere?
Cute and inconspicuous, right? That's good.
I hope they don't have Carla gagged like they had Patrick too. They did Patrick. I don't want to see her like that. And she wasn't. She was complying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna see. We're gonna find that out soon.
Yeah.
So Sims takes his information and he just kind of leaves with it. Okay. Can't really do anything about it right now. But he goes right to Bernard's office.
Mhm.
And who does he see? Lucas. What the are you doing here? So how did you get here? And Lucas looks scared as shit, right?
Yeah.
You see the boogeyman.
Mhm.
And Sims is pissed off. Where the hell is he? Where is Bernard? He was ready to throw hands.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, this kind of gets to the point where when I saw Lucas with Bernard, last season, last episode,
Mhm.
I knew he was going to be in the shadow.
Yeah, that was I didn't. It was so wild, man.
I knew it was coming. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, because he's trusting him with so much, and he only could trust him with that much if if he's going to try to show him the whole thing. And he can't show him the whole thing unless he makes him the shadow.
Without, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what I was getting when he made him the shadow, because I'm like, why? Like he needs more information. In order to get him more information, he needs to be the shadow.
He
Which
doesn't
was
want to trust.
super interesting.
He doesn't trust anyone else.
Yeah.
But this guy is too. I'm like, wait. First off, you want me to be your shadow and do all this stuff for you? Sure, but I am never going back to their mines again.
Oh, yeah,
that's why
it.
But that's why he chose to be the shadow. I think that was the reason why he said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
your shadow can't go to the mines."
Yeah.
No, but he gotta get that, because once he's not a shadow anymore, he's gonna send him back to the mines. Okay, you're not my shadow no more. I got my information from you. Saya, gotta go. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, we have to come up with some kind of deal right now.
No, you're right. I mean, but I don't think he's gonna. You don't want to say it because you don't want to second guess it. Because once you have information, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If he has all the information, he's in the mines. That's scary, right?
Yeah, but they say usually you don't survive the mines, right?
Yeah,
So
more
when
than 5 years.
5 years.
it's a death sentence. You know what I mean? So they just throw him down there. He's crazy. Wait for him to die. Nah, I want some writing. You gotta put this in writing. I don't
I'm gonna
trust
do
you.
it. Let's do a revolution in the mines. Let's get all the miners. I got all the information, guys. Let's go. All of us.
Yeah. But it just seems like very quick of Bernard, who's somebody who is very calculated and thoughtful with everything he does, was just like, okay, here, right now, you're my shadow. Let's do this. I was like, damn. I'm like, everything else, he's like, oh, we're ahead of schedule for the riot. You're like, everything else is so well planned. Even when he has to think on his feet with what happened with Meadows, it was still, he's like, I'm gonna do this and then this and then this. Like, he was already down the road. This seems like just boom out so quick and out of nowhere.
Well, you know what? Now that you say that, Tank, I'm like, wait till Sims finds out, right?
Oh,
so now
When he finds out
maybe
he's the shadow,
Sims is gonna want to kill him. So
Uh-huh.
if that's the case, all the information he knows is gonna die if Sim tries to do something to him. So he might have that in mind too, knowing that Sims is gonna be jealous and want him gone.
Yeah.
not just that. He's an IT guy like him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart person. So why did he really love Judge Meadows? Talking to her because she was smarter than he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was a problem solver. She saw things that he didn't see. And the more he talks to Lucas, the more he realizes this is another guy who thinks like IT, but also understands how things work. Why I can trust this guy because he understands why I'm doing what I'm doing, because this is how things work.
Yeah. Like, he sees the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. So real quick, so my girlfriend wound up bringing the first book, all of the first book of Wool, which it gets into a lot of stuff. She didn't give me spoilers, but once this happened and we're talking about it, and she said in the book, Bernard just does it because he's lonely. He's like, I can't trust anybody else. Like, and I'm all by myself. So boom, here, you're the only guy around me that I trust, and I know won't screw me over, because you don't know anybody. You got nobody, so it's like, we're going to have nobody together. So I was like, that's interesting. They don't play that in the show. Like
it is
a little
showing
bit
it right now. I think it is, because we'll get to that scene while I'm talking about it, but I think they are. But I feel like it also hurts Sims. Anything that hurts Sims is what Bernard wants to do.
Another reason to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lakeisha said Lucas is my favorite. At the end, it's all Juliette getting better and give him some. She better give him some. She ruined his life, and all he wanted to do was kiss her under the stars and write some sweet poetry to her, and that's it. Yeah. Grogu said you're right. Kama was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" He was ready to throw it because you see how he burst through Bernard's door with his shoulder. He didn't come in like knocking. He came blue. Like what, boy?
Yeah. Well, he came in. I think he came in like, you need me, like you know, this because I know this and this is happening because blah blah blah. So it's like he came in like trying to throw it down, and
he realized there's someone already in your seat. There's someone already knowing all the stuff that you know.
that is, you know, that is really interesting. He came in there to be the shadow. Little did we know, like he's already sitting in that seat.
Bernard likes to have some people close to him, so Lucas can suit him as a shadow. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I think the rapidity is reflective of his obsession over decoding that letter, because it's also the last thing that Judge Meadows said to him. It's also her last request, her last thing. So his love for her is pushing that too. Not just that he wants to know what's going on, but it's also her. That's why when he leaves this, he goes see her. So Lucas cannot die. I won't allow it. So all true, Brian. Bernard does like individuals who are smart, like the judge and Lucas. He actually down deep respects them. Yes, exactly.
He does, but
how things work.
Lucas is gonna know way too much. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Bernard really thinks you can trust Lucas yet. Lucas is just there to get information and figure it out, but can he trust him completely? I don't know that yet. Maybe it'll change where it's like, okay, you know, Lucas shows that he could be trusted, but I think
knowing
he'll
the
know
type,
too much.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, knowing the type of character and just the conniving, just son of a bitch that Bernard is. I don't think that you know, like once he's got what he needs from Lucas, you know, he might give him the same treatment as he did what's her face?
Judge Meadows.
Judge Meadows,
I don't think you can do that to your shadow. I think it's part of the pact.
Because
because if you die, they have to know what you know. That's part of it. You can't kill them, and that's what they're talking to Juliette in season 1. Remember, he's your shadow. You have to. It's the law.
Yeah, but he could also make him not his shadow anymore, like he did to Sims.
Sims was never his shadow, and he never.
Right.
He
That's
never
true.
let
That's right.
Judge Meadows. He never.
Yeah.
He didn't take the shadow away from her. She said, "I can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
She took it away.
Yeah.
He walked away. So I don't think that once you make someone your shadow, I think this is a binding thing.
That is interesting.
So Sims is distraught, right? So where does he go? If I'm distraught, I want my wife, right? He went to his wife, Camille. Look, this is what's going on. I don't know what to do. I can't trust anybody else. They're about to come through the floor. I can't talk to Bernard about it. He has Lucas sitting in the seat. I don't know what the hell. And Camille's like, all right, what do you want me to do? And he looked at her and said, you used to be a raider, right? you know how things work. And next thing you know, we see her full garb, ready to go. Yeah. That's a bad woman right there, man.
Yeah.
That's the person you make your wife, like, because you know she's an extension of you, you extension of her. I love her right now. I am.
Man, she's a badass.
She's that one, man. She's that one. Yeah, I need that, and he needs that, so that's good. All right, so we go back. He got the bullet taken out of him, and he's feeling good. All right,
drugged up.
Hey, everything's nice. And Billings comes and says, look, bro, you say you're going to talk to me about some stuff, right? Hey, maybe I will, maybe I won't. No big deal. I'm not really worried about it, right? And this is the most, I hate to say gangster again, that I didn't see Billings be the one who does this. He says, "Excuse me, guys, doctor, can you step outside? Babe, can you step outside?" You know, he looks at Hank and says, "Hey, you probably should walk outside too." And you started to look around, and like the room just cleared out, right? What? Hey, he look at the face. Look at his face, like I'm about to handle some business. So I thought that was hilarious seeing him be about that life. Goes in, he takes a chair, he puts it on the bed right where he got shot. Like, look, you better tell me what's going on. Or I'm gonna take this walkie-talkie. I'm gonna call Bernard, and I'm gonna call Judge Sims.
Judge Sims.
You didn't know he was gonna be Judge Sims. Oh, you didn't know he was Judge? Yeah, Judge Sims. I'm gonna let him know where you are. You think he's going into that hole? Oh, he's gonna find something much, much deeper for you to go. We'll never see you again. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, shit. Patrick, like, all right, straightens up. All right. And starts telling him everything. Tells him about what they saw, what they put on the computer for those 10 seconds. That it wasn't just a glitch in the system. Tells him about how they came to snatch seeing his partner. Why he had to set up all engineering. He told him everything. And Billings was like, I wasn't ready to hear all this shit.
Well, Patrick had like one of the best lines. Like after he told him everything, he goes, "There's a little part of you inside of you that wish I never told you." I was like, "Damn!" Like because that's the thing where
I'm about to ruin your life.
Yeah, multiple times he told him, "You don't want to hear this. You do not want to hear this."
That's your wife and your daughter over there, man. Living for them, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know Billings had it in him, dude. He all of a sudden is like growing a backbone. He's not around shaking anymore. He's no longer worried about all that other crap. He's being about that life now. I was watching an episode of Law and Order. Like he closed the door. I was like, doom doom. Was anyone else disappointed that Patrick didn't share anything because the audience didn't already know?
Yes, I was just about to say that was the problem that I have with that scene, is that we just got information we already knew about.
Yeah,
so I agree with you.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was disappointing. You know, but for the story, Patrick needs to tell Billings, so it makes sense. I'm just glad they didn't stretch it out for like that many episodes, because this is what, like the second episode, you know, because last episode was like they found him, he's like, you don't want to hear this, and he's like, yes I do, and then this episode he finally told him. It didn't stretch it out for like a season, you know, which is the only
I told you don't want.
Yeah. You know, but I mean, but Billings needs to know this so he can start finding stuff out, so us as the audience can start finding stuff out, you know, like, you know, but even then, isn't it already like we already know way more than them as a viewer, because they still think the outside is just, you know, blue skies and green grass and birds flying around.
We don't know that either, though. So we don't know if the outside is just in that area. We don't know anything about the other silos yet. We don't know about what the whole idea is. Bernard might know more.
Bernard definitely knows more and more. You know, he knows.
Yeah, he knows a lot more than he lets on. Yeah.
Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Appreciate that, bro. Goo. Exactly what he said. She said. Thank you. Yeah. All right. I mean, just look at Billings. Like all of a sudden, he just seems more confident. I believe him as sheriff now. I think this is what it is. Him having something to actually do and to figure out is what's curing him. And literally, the syndrome is about him just getting cabin fever. You know, having anxiety about being locked up all this time. And I think that's just going to kind of push him towards possibly wanting to help lead this revolution. Maybe outside is clean.
Yeah, I mean, Silo 17, it was the sheriff that helped get everyone out the doors.
I don't think you get a revolution until then. You get no revolution unless you have the sheriff involved.
Yeah.
All right, so right now, this is when you see Bernard
It was
in
sad.
Judge Meadows, and he is distraught, looking at her body. The way he looks at her, the way he like starts to break down, almost made him seem like he was a human.
Mm.
Almost.
What are you breaking down about, motherfucker? You killed her.
You get it?
No?
Why you make me do this? I will never forgive him for making me put you into the math, into the calculus. And he was so cold-blooded before, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was so cold-blooded, but you now realize that he regrets everything he ever did. He wish he never did because he's so alone. And this is what foreshadowed more about Lucas, because he's so alone.
So by himself, yeah.
Which makes him a kind of more which makes him a complex, interesting character. Just because he was so willing to do this to her without flinching or without a second thought, but kind of reminds me of Colin Farrell's Penguin, in the HBO Max series, like almost gaslighting himself into thinking he's doing the right thing.
Yeah, that he's like the good guy because he's
he's the hero.
It's all justified.
He's basically the hero of his own story.
Yeah,
sadistic son of a bitch.
Didn't it also seem like he might have like split personalities? Like he or he has to pretend to be something. I don't know if he's pretending or not. Like he has these two parts of him, and they're split up, and the other part is starting to come on equal footing with his IT mind. So the emotional part is still kind of coming out.
Interesting. I like that.
Brogo said I was thinking the same thing. Solving the case actually could help his illness.
Yeah,
or it is helping his illness. Almost felt good for Bernard. Almost felt like, oh man, he's sad. I'm so almost. Bernard's one of those sadistic people that will actually love someone, kill them in the blink of an eye. Yeah. And they'd be sad. Oh man, I wish I didn't have to do that. I think Bernard is sad, but not regretful. I think he would do the same issue all over again, following the order. I think he wish he would have killed Sims.
Find a way to get him killed.
I think Bernard will finally feel real regret when he finds out about his secret baby.
Yeah,
100%. And to realize he can't go back and talk to her. And I did this to the mother of my child, and the one he's actually finding a connection with. And that will rock Shirley to her core if she finds that out too. And he tries to bring her up top. Oh, no, you're my daughter. You don't have to be down there. You don't have to go for scraps. Season 3. Check it out. Yeah, the penguin was, I really like you, Victor. Then turns around and chokes him until he's dead.
Yeah.
We think he's dead.
Yeah. But also, I got to give Tim Robbins like credit here because, man, it shows like
acting
why
wise,
he's a great actor.
Yep.
Tim Robbins might be one of the greatest actors I've ever seen. I think, but I've known that for years.
Yeah.
Everything he does is amazing.
Yeah.
But he's so hard to be in movies because he's so tall. Being 6'7" and long just makes him hard to be with other people. You don't realize how tall 6'7" is until you're around another tall person. So even kissing her hand, you see the romantic connection to them. He was out, but then he goes and just walks out, ready to go. I was like, all right,
shakes it off.
All right, you see, everyone's united, ready to do this, start this revolution. They have a good plan. I thought, Shirley and Knox did a great job with it, and they met up. They got weapons. They're ready to go right now. And He comes and this is where I was confused. What was Bernard thinking here? Like, why? You know, why is he sending this guy out to even think about dealing with these guys? You know he's going to make a bad decision. So why wouldn't he figure out what he's going to do before he sends him out?
I don't know.
I feel like he's breaking his character a little bit. It's almost like he's no longer thinking ahead.
Mm.
Like his mind's in too many different places, and he's having a hard time.
Because I think he's still dealing with like not having Sims next to him, you know, because he even admitted in I believe the last episode, he's like you're too good to get rid of, you know. So he like gave him props. He goes, bro, like you're the best at what you do. You can't do it anymore because I don't trust you. So is it like part of it like forgetting you don't have that Sims, that this guy is not Sims and he can't do the same things he can't do, you know? So you might send him out like, oh, well, Sims able to do it, you know, or it could be just, I don't know, like this is your job, get it done, you know, and this guy just sucks at it. I don't know.
I think part of it is that it used to be 3 parts, right? You had Meadows, you had Sims, and you had him. Like they could all take parts of it. And right now, Bernard's trying to do all of it at the same time.
That is true.
And that it's too big of a job for even him, especially when he's in this emotional state. This is what's driving him to need more people on his side.
It kind of raises the question, you know, how he's going to end up by the conclusion of this season. You know, with him kind of coming a part of the scene. Yeah, you know, he's spreading himself very, very thin. So I'm kind of curious to see, you know, a character who's that used to an extraordinary level of control and being basically having to have his hands in multiple jars and being jerked about every which way. You know, what's this going to spell out for him? You know, where are we going to see him? Where's he going to end up by the end of this season?
Do you guys think that? So you know, we kind of already talked about what was about to happen with him having a new shadow. Do you think that he gives him too much power too soon?
The shadow, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he gives him too much power.
If he figures out, say they figure out what's going on,
yeah,
does he just start to like just say, "Here, take this. I'm going to handle this part because this letter tells me something more about my job. So I'm going to give you control." And all of a sudden, at the end of the season, Lucas is sitting there like, "How the hell did we get here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, think it's possible.
Yeah, but also like now that you say that, I'm thinking like, obviously when he says like his shadow, we're thinking like the shadow as in like head of the silo secret society, right? Because also like don't forget he's still mayor, he's still head of IT. You know, he's temporary mayor. He's still head of IT, so it's like, you know, and he's this like secret shadow like silo organization that, you know, with the order kind of thing. So like when he made him a shadow, it is that the order secret society kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it has to be, like he made him swear on the pact.
Yeah,
about it.
Yeah. Well, he can make him like head of IT too, you know what I mean? Because like if he is the shadow and something happens to Bernard, like that secret society part of it, like no one really knows about that. You know what I mean?
So he'll have a job. He'll have a job like, you have this. You're the new head of IT with me.
Yeah.
They'll give him that shadow. You're a shadow. You'll be associate mayor, all that. They'll give him that job, I think.
Yeah. But it'll just be so hard to like, you were in the mines and now you're standing next to the mayor, you know? That's why it's like maybe Bernard is like, it's best for you to stay in the shadows, you know, and then when the time comes up. Because I think he gave him the power of the shadow so he can access more information. So I don't think it's the power itself of being the shadow. It's more of like, I need you to have access to all this information so you can give it to me.
Yeah, but to see him go through these doors, everyone else around that runs the organization will see him walking through these doors, and he's going to tell them that he's a shadow.
Yeah.
Sims is going to find out he's a shadow. All those things. So I think when people find out about it, then all of a sudden it's going to be reality.
Yeah.
It's no longer just, I'm just using you.
Yeah.
It's going. I think, and once again, Bernard is lonely, like you said. He's absolutely incredible acting. Tim Robbins is an excellent actor. I think he's top tier.
Yeah.
I remember when I first watched the show, my daughter, she said, Bernard is boring. I told her that's Tim Robbins. He doesn't do boring characters. Give him time. You know who was another boring character at the beginning? Andy Dufresne. Yeah. It's a good point, Tank. I agree. Yeah. I actually wonder how much stuff that Sims gets credit for was actually his wife. Yeah. The lady behind us that beating behind the scenes. Yeah. I'm sure most of it was.
Yeah.
He's the one from IT. She's the one also that's been a raider. He's the one that's been on the line. She knows all this stuff.
And when she recommends things, it seems like they've done this before, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, here's everything I know. What's the plan? And they kind of make a plan, which is really just her telling him what to do. But
I said, that's good, honey. Now go do this. All right, so this is where my scene now we're talking about. Them getting closer, they're toasting each other, liking it, loving it, and they're kissing it. Right, what I said, I knew they looked deep into each other's eyes, and they
knew that was coming, right?
Life. Yeah, just saying, you saw it happening.
That's when I'm like, Brian was right. Brian called it.
But
it was
that was short lived because there's Billings. They're like, hey, Billings, so you here? Lakeisha says, I was shocked. I wasn't. Because I mean, look, Knox did everything about it that you need to do with a woman, right? He said, you're the best. You're the best. She's better than me in all things.
Yeah.
So he gave her respect, right? From the beginning, first thing you need to do is give her respect. Then he kept her in line with it. Like, whatever I'm doing, I'm letting you know about it because we are partners. And called 100% a 50% partnership. That's another huge thing, right? Then they got closer and closer. They were laying down together. When he was hurt, he let her patch him up. He trusted her, right? So, so he gave her respect. They bonded. He trusted her as a partner, and then he trusted her to I'm hurt for you to step up and do these things.
He also was like,
that's the relationship.
Gave her secrets, like
things I'll never tell anyone else.
Here's these like secrets with the names on the wall and that the secret place and stuff like that.
I mean, this is what he's been doing. This might be his plan the whole time. He's like, I'm gonna get me some
Shiloh.
I got this. Dude, that's a plan. That's what that is. That's a plan. You want a strong woman? Respect her. You make her your 100% partner. You trust her 100%. You do everything together and you share yourself. And then you're humble and when you're hurt, you allow her to come in. Bro. I see it coming. I still don't believe it. I feel like Shirley has more chemistry with Juliette than Knox. I think they were always sisters, more sister-like.
Yeah, that's what I always got. Yeah,
I always felt like those sisters. Except now Brian getting away the playbook. Hey, I've been married long enough. I can go ahead and do it. It's okay. You're a clear ideal spouse, Brian. No, my wife definitely is all about you. Stop being so helpful. Get the hell out of my face. Yeah, Sorry. She tells me that daily. So he comes there and says, she's like, "Are you here to arrest us?" And you're like, "No, I need some answers." And I ask him about, is what Walker told me about the count true? He said 100%. We were there. Sims and Bernard were in there, and Judge Meadows was already dead, and they're setting us up.
Mhm.
Then Billings does something that I didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
He
That was
calls
ballsy.
Bernard.
Yeah.
Hey, I got them in custody. I'm looking at them right now. And Bernard's like, "What? You got them? You solved all my problems?" And he said, "Yeah, I got them. So where are you? Where are they? Let me know." And he says, "I'm not going to tell you. I want a full investigation into Judge Meadows' death. I'm going to order that now. I need all these things going on, and I want to see who's really in charge and who really caused all this stuff." And Bernard, that's his face.
Yeah.
What the fuck? His world is shattering around him. So now he's really alone, and he doesn't have Sims to run to, because now they hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
But even like when this all happened, he said we lost the sheriff. So it's almost like I when he said that, I'm like, I wonder if the Pat says, like, when they start doing stuff like that, like the sheriff is gone, like that symbol of the silo is now part of the rebellion. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so to him, it's more of like, that's it. That sheriff, that symbol of law is on the other side now. You know, which is just that's a huge, what you said earlier. You know, once the sheriff is on that side, that's it. You know, but
there,
you know, Billings, I don't think is quite like that. You know,
but here's the thing. But Billings says in the next scene, you know, he's talking to his wife about it. I don't know if that's the next scene. No, he's telling him about all the stuff. Yeah. I want the full everything. So he's talking to his wife about it, and he says, "Yeah, I'm probably not going to be sheriff long." But can Bernard do that? There's no one else that you could trust to make sheriff that's not going to ruin all this. It's not just trusting that they're going to do something, but trusting that they can handle it, because he can't handle another position by himself. This shit is coming to a headway right now.
I didn't even think about that. That he's stuck
Same.
with Billings.
Because who's gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean,
but even if he were to take Billings away from being sheriff, all the deputies know Billings is like the dude. You know, like he's a stand-up dude. He knows the law. He knows, you know, everything. You know, so it's not like he's a corrupt person. So if Bernard were to do it, I think you would lose all the deputies too.
You're probably starting a civil war.
Yeah, probably the most trustworthy character, or if not one of the most trustworthy characters on the show. But yeah.
Oh, he's it 100%. Yeah. I wish Apple would give us the pact or a portion of it, like the order and Severance gave us the Lexington letter. Oh, if we got the order and the pact, we'll be going through that right now. Like, I'll be talking like, well, line 3 of the pact says this.
We should find Hugh Howey is on Facebook. He's like on a lot of these Facebook groups that we're in for the silo. Should ask him like, hey, do you have all the pack in the order like written out? Like release that.
I wonder if it's in the book. I want to look it up.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to I'm only in the middle of the second one, so we'll see. But that would be super cool. I agree. But as I said, Billings is talking to his wife. I don't know if I'm going to be sheriff much longer. She's listening, and she seems calm, like all fine. Like, oh, I don't care. Really? That's all they're gonna do? Oh, okay, well, we'll be all right, right? And then she says, "Well," and he's like, "You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. What we're gonna do?" She said, "Can you hand me that water over there?" And he's like, "Here you go." She's like, "Do you not see it? And he's like, what? What? There's water. No problem. Look at your hand. And he starts to realize it's not shaking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you've been talking about this and dealing with this and, actually trying to solve something, doing your job, you're no longer having these attacks. You haven't had your stuff in days. So the syndrome is almost gone. So it's all mental.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Billings will do with this information?
Well, I don't know. I'll let Brand.
So Anzo, because I know
we got some theories.
Yes, I want to hear what at this point. You talk about your theories. What you guys think? What's going on?
I think the stuff he was taking was keeping his thing going, right? Because she said you haven't taken it in a while, and I think he hasn't taken it for the longest period of time now, and now he's not shaking anymore. So I believe that the stuff he was taking was actually giving him the shakes.
Okay,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking something similar. He's been on that dry spell at this point and is completely normal and functional. So I'm thinking what he was taking was something, be it engineered or by Bernard or whoever, was to kind of keep him in check.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
To make him second guess themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So my theory is a little different. I think him being up higher, closer to the surface, I wonder if there's some
residual,
some poison seeping through. Maybe not enough to kill anybody, but enough to mess with certain people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if him just being up closer to the surface and not fully exposed to it, but obviously you're that close, things are gonna seep through. So I wonder if maybe that's what it is. That just him being down deep is just better for him. So
my question is, and I believe they talked about it. How long has he had those shakes for? Since he was a kid,
12.
Right?
Since
he was 12, right? And then how long has he been taking that herb stuff? Since he was
only
12,
since he met her. Only since he met her, because she's the one that's been giving him this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because he had the shakes, and then somebody else had it, and he's like, "Oh, I see you're trying to block it too," and then he punched him and got into that whole fight to try to hide it. Yeah.
And then called him and told him he has shakes. And, got rid of the syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that. But I mean, ultimately, I do think because I know there's a bunch of theories online about the syndrome is just a psychological kind of thing where humans aren't meant to be locked in holes their entire lives, and some humans start to mentally have this mental breakdown with the shakes, stuff like that. So and then him being distracted with finding the truth, rather than just working a case. It's more than just working the case. This is the truth of our livelihood, the truth of everything we're told, for years at this point, so that's a lot to focus on, so I'm kind of curious because it could be a bunch of stuff.
I think that he hasn't had his shakes since he saw Outside. Since he saw that little brochure, the idea, just the idea that possibly
some truth,
that you're not just stuck in here, that possibly you could get out here. Just that idea in itself has been really helping him out. And the more he learns about it, the more he thinks that this might be a true thing. And then that's what's really allowing him to no longer have that anxiety, because what is it? It's an anxiety attack, right? That's what the shakes are. He's having anxiety, he's having all these worries, and that's causing his hands to have a nervous breakdown, right? I think the idea that you might be able to get out, maybe something else is going on. What happened with Juliette, the idea that the brochure, all the stuff, these information he's learning, that it's not just what he thinks. This pact is not where it begins and ends. It's more to it. And I think that's all freeing his mind to the idea that there's more to I could get out possibly.
Yeah. Like it's almost like he's breaking out. Like now that he knows there's more than just the silo. Like he knows he can possibly leave, so maybe that's enough for his brain to like
release.
Like break from that jail. Like, oh, there's more than just being trapped down here.
He says, who is the poor person poisoning Billings?
That'd be horrible. That would suck.
I mean, that could be something.
He's out here like, I'll come after you. Don't do it.
I think it reinforces his decision to be true to himself instead of feeling like he needs to repress everything. Exactly. Repressing all his feelings. Right. Just let it out. Maybe there's something in him that always felt like this is wrong. And the more information he's getting, the more he realizes, okay, maybe it is wrong. So, all right. I like that scene. So that made me feel good about him.
Yeah.
Now,
ooh, this is a big one.
We got Lucas sitting with Bernard. And he says, okay, so I took the letters and I pushed it over 5 letters and went through all this stuff. And all of a sudden you start seeing words. And this says SILLO. Okay. Well, that doesn't say silo. That's silo. That doesn't make any sense. And he said, well, I moved it over 3 more letters. And all of a sudden, his daughter's name comes out. So I'm getting something. I think it's a multi-layered, thing that I'm trying to get through. And it's really encrypted very well. But the more information I get, the more I could tell you. Right now, I don't have enough information to tell you anything, so I can't really decrypt any of this stuff. So as soon as he says that, Bernard's like, "You need to see this. I have to be able to show you more." And Bernard's like, "Oh man, this guy is actually putting this stuff together."
Yeah. What do you call this? Caesar's suffix or
suffix or so, yeah.
Or Caesar cipher, right? Something like that.
Cipher. Yes, it was a cipher. It was a cipher. Yes.
Yeah. Which is like what they're doing where you plain text codes and blah 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 and stuff like that.
But you can't.
And he's like, what? I just thought it was funny because he's like, it's a long story. And I was like, oh, these kind of start to plant the seeds of like you needed more information to give me the information kind of thing.
But you need this. If you have a cipher, you can figure out, how this thing is being set up. You understand what's going on. This is like the code you have from World War II. You need the cipher to figure out what either side, ally, whatever side you were on. You need to know what this code was, and there's a cipher that figured that out. And he needs to give him that. But that's a technology, and that's totally not allowed. And the only person that could do that will be me. So for me to give this to you, you have to be me, my shadow.
Yeah, but it also just shows how like Lucas is smart. Like he figures out the stars and like Earth rotation. What like he's figuring out this how to decode this like message and stuff with no prior knowledge. He's figuring all this out for the first time. So yeah. It's impressive.
He said it was funny to me. Billings' wife let him hold the baby, but then later uses the glass to test him. F the baby. If it drew, I guess. It's so funny. My daughter does cyber security at a professional level, even though she's a senior in high school. Wow. She said the coding terms they used were real terms, very cool. And actually might be the exact way that you go through coding, how they went through getting a cipher. That's cool. That's really awesome. So kudos to your daughter, Keisha. Very cool.
That is
100%. The young kids are so much smarter than we are. in books, not in life. Not in life.
Clear that up.
So he swears Lucas in as his shadow, which is interesting because he did it on a pact, and then Lucas accepted it. Do you accept? Because Lucas has to accept the position.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't really think about it twice. He was like, yeah.
I forgot whether it was Anzo or Brandman said is like, what other choice you got? What other choice you got? It's like
going back to
the mines?
Mines.
Or you want me to, tinker with this hard drive and figure out all these like cool secrets. I was like, I'll take the cool secrets, please.
I think the more he opens up, the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
He's already a curious guy. He's looking at the stars. He's trying to figure things out. He's already an IT person. So like that's naturally a person who likes to put a puzzle together. And Bernard feels that. And we've seen all the things we saw previously in this episode about how alone he is and trying to figure out how you can figure this stuff out. And the only thing he sees is a kindred spirit with Lucas. And that's, I think, another reason why he does this. So he's no longer alone.
Yeah.
So I hope someone is taking care of Lucas's mom. Yeah. He said she was all he had. Yeah, he was all she had. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
So, yeah, thank you. I'm very proud of her. She's my retirement plan. That's what I'm talking about. At least you got one. That's one. I need one of my 8 or 10-year-old to have be a retirement plan for me.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought the episode was going to be over right there, right?
I know. Yeah. Same.
But the doctor goes down and finds Walker, and she's like, because when she knocked on the door, she's like, if your friend come in, if you're not, get the hell away. I don't care. And Dr. Nichols walks in, and apparently they're very friendly with each other. Like, so it wasn't like we finding out more that he didn't just give Juliette up and never check on her, never talk about it with her. They are friendly. And this also playing the thing in my mind that we talked about with Nikisha, that he was the doctor with Judge Meadows. And she was there because that's how that's how we get Shirley. She understand, and she was the one who decided who gets to raise her, and then that's why he knew he could go to her. That's why he trusted her. She was just a random person. Walker was someone he already knew.
Yeah,
and that's why he brought his daughter to her.
And it would make sense too, because as soon as she comes down and she finds out who she is, like he goes down there like real quick, and it's like, all right, time to go back with Dad, and she's like, I don't want to, so like they already had a relationship before Juliette. That would be interesting. I like that. So
they definitely foreshadowing that they've known each other. They're friendly. They've been through things before. So I think that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Then so they talk about Juliette, because I don't want to skip what they did. They actually talked about Juliette and like, thank you for giving her the good tape. I heard you did that. Do you think Juliette's alive? And she's like, no, I really don't think so. There's so much going out there. So why would you do that to us? Give us this false sense of hope. And he was like, no, I didn't do it. I did it because I didn't want to see Juliette and all of us see her fall out on that hill. I wanted to give her more than that. And as soon as they talk about Juliette, we finally get our first glimpse of her since the last episode. Not looking dead. Then we see,
new bandage,
bandaged up, and then we hear Solo. Hey, I'm glad the antibiotics that I stirred and made, work for you. Yeah, I'm glad we cleaned you up and you're all good. And as she's waking up, she's starting like, I found a helmet. I need my suits. I need to go. And he's like, about that. Your suit is safe, but you ain't going nowhere. Just letting you know. I need you to fix the pump. And she was like, I gotta go. It could be anytime 10,000 people's lives are at risk at any time. And he was like, yeah, that's probably more of a reason for you to hurry up and get this pump fixing. so, so you fix the bump, then maybe we can figure this out. But
but I like he's like it seemed like he took the suit hostage, right?
Yeah.
Like he's holding it.
Yeah,
You know,
it's in the
he's like,
safe
don't worry,
place.
it's safe, but you ain't getting it back. Yeah.
He said, yes, it makes so much more sense. I wish you could figure out from that easily. Dude, I'll be here all day. Oh, for forever. Figure out from. Yeah, I'll be sitting there like this, with tacks in the air, with little ropes like going to each one, you know. See a web. Yeah, Jeeves in here. How you doing, Jeeves? This is nice idea to do a live chat. Exactly. We want to hear you guys, what you guys think. If you have things that you think that are actually happening that we don't see, I want to hear all of it. I love your comments. I mean, it helps us think and it helps us figure out our own ideas. So, that's something we love. So finally, I was right about something. I knew he was going to take the suit. I do wonder how he managed antibiotics, though.
That was like he's not smart enough to come up with it on his own. So I'm assuming like it has to be written down somewhere, right? Like, hey, this is how you make antibiotics. You know, like there's got to be like a like a survival book or something, right?
Yeah, he's working off something, you know, as as infantile as he is. I think that's probably the first word that comes to mind when to describe him. He's got to be working off something left for him in his silo. Something. I don't think there's any way he came up with it on his own.
Yeah. I thought the exact opposite, that he was able to work on his own, because what he was is a shadow for a doctor, like that boy was over there earlier with Patrick. They have no idea what else you're doing. The first thing you do is learn how to make antibiotics, and that's all he knew how to do. So that's why I thought that more probably gave us a more of a insight to who he really is.
Yeah, but is he the shadow now? Like now I don't even know who he really is.
No. So he's not. He wasn't that guy, but he was a shadow of somebody, right? I think he was a doctor's shadow. That's why he was in that level 2 class with that girl.
Interesting.
Okay.
What do you think, Anzo?
I don't know. This guy's still a mystery to me. I'm not 100% sure, you know. Like, to be honest with you, the last episode when she passed out, I was like, oh, so he did poison her with the food. You know what I mean? I thought that's what it was, but it ended up being the infection. So I'm not sure about this guy.
Yeah. He's still, like you said, he's very mysterious still. Like you still don't know
anything about him.
Anything really about him.
That he might be dangerous.
Yeah.
So Jeeves says he's not giving back the suit. When that water is drained, he's going to walk out of silo 17 through the big door at the bottom of the silo.
Yeah. That's our theory too. We were talking about that last week.
Do you think the legacy may at least include AI that can produce things like that, a 3D printer sort of idea, in addition to being a repository of information? That's genius. I like that. I really, really like that. That's really. The legacy is AI. It's
man, you just like threw that all in there because it's like, what if AI is really like the overall thing controlling everything? You know what I mean?
But you don't want anything that's contesting with you.
So
you don't allow
any major technology in any of the silos. So now that you blew my brain, man.
That's a great idea. Maybe that he has a stash of meds in the vault, but I expect that to be expired. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he said he made it, which I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting.
He said, I'm so pleased with casting in the show. Solo as actor makes me want to grab a drink with him, but not turn my back on him ever. Like,
well, Steve Zahn, he's always causing trouble in his movies.
Yeah.
That's just him.
Saving Silverman, Strange Wilderness are two of my favorite like comedy movies.
I think Saving Silverman is so hilarious.
Yeah, Jack Black together,
Jason Biggs.
Yeah,
that movie's hilarious to me.
Yeah, go watch some of his older stuff. I mean, Strange Wilderness is a weird, crazy.
I gotta rewatch. Movie. Yeah, I gotta rewatch Strange Wilderness. But
that was a wild one.
Yeah, Saving Silverman and like Joyride are my top two from him.
Yeah, he's a really funny actor. But he was with Eddie Murphy too.
Dr. Dolittle too, right?
Yeah, the daycare one.
He was in Daddy Daycare.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
He was the nerd. Yeah,
the nerd
that only spoke to the little kid who spoke Klingon.
That's my kid. That's what I'm talking about. That's super me.
But Steve Zahn he's a really like good actor. I think like underrated. You know, he always flies under the radar in a lot of the movies.
Yeah, real. Yeah, because he's in a lot of roles more often than not. I feel like he's usually like the supporting guy.
Yeah.
Or like the kind of goofball, and whoever else that he's acting alongside is the straight man. Like I said, in Joyride or Sahara. Trying to think what else. Where he's
or Mank.
He is a monk.
I didn't know he was a monk.
I didn't know
he's his brother. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was in Monk.
I didn't really watch Monk that much.
Play Monk's brother. Yeah, exactly. He did.
That's cool.
I watched all of Monk's episodes.
Yeah, I watched Monk on and off. My dad absolutely loved Monk.
Yeah.
Or loves Monk. But yeah.
Okay. So for this episode, guys, what would you grade it? I'm gonna take a note out of Anzo's book. I saw that, where would you grade the episode? So yeah, you tell me, guys, where would you grade this episode?
We're doing letter grades, right?
Yep. You tell me first. You go first, and then we'll go around.
I'd give it a B plus. I like the balance of this episode. I like that the questions that it constantly raises and kind of has me trying to figure out mentally what's going to happen next and where they're going next. I think that's the main source of the appeal of the show for me. I like the pacing of it. Probably one of my more favorite paced episodes of this season so far. And I just like the mystery aspect of it. I think you've really succeeded when A, you're handling this many arcs, and B, you're raising a lot of questions, and I'm failing to make theories, and I just find myself waiting to see what happens by the end. And that's probably one of my favorite things about this show. So B plus for me.
Okay. You want to go on, Anzo?
Yeah. I'm gonna actually give it a solid A. For me, I definitely love shows that, deal with characters, That's why I like From so much, and Lost, and this show. And I think all of the characters in the show are really good. You know what I mean? I'm never bored watching an episode of the show. And I think that's a lot. And a lot of people say, oh, you like a lot of actions. But no, I like character shows, especially when you feel emotions from the characters in the show. You know what I mean? You get to hate some, you love some, you can't wait for this person to die. And I think that's what I really like about this show. So yeah, I give it a solid A.
Okay. I give it a B. I think I'll give it a B. Because it was a good episode. The only reason I don't give it an A is I wanted more of Juliette's story. Like, that's the only thing that would, like, if you gave me this 10 more minutes, because I am really curious about that side of the story, like seeing the rebellion, how everyone's acting, how Bernard's acting. Love it. It's great. I love seeing it, but also I want to know how she is going to at least try to save the day. Like, hey, don't go outside. It is bad, so, like, I want to see her like her part of the story with her really wanting to go back to her silo, so that was the only thing that kind of took me out of it. Not took me out of it, but didn't
It's
give
funny-
it a solid A. But
It's funny that you say that because I'm more interested in the stuff that's going on in the silo now than the Juliette stuff, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm more interested in that. So.
Yeah, it's good stuff, but also like now that we've been in another silo, we like all that's playing out to become another Silo 17.
Yeah.
So it's like the only wild card is you have somebody who left and is alive who can come back and change everything. So instead of going down that normal route of rebellion, the doors open, everyone dies, you have Juliette out there that could possibly save, and I'm curious to know how she gets back. Because I know we talked about it before. It's not like she's gonna just walk up to the camera, because they'll hide it. Like I think Brian said that, so how's she gonna get into the silo? Is it the underground tunnel they keep hinting at? So yeah. But it was a solid episode. I enjoyed it a lot. Had a lot. Had like a what the F moment with Lucas for sure. So yeah.
All right, before I say my grade, I want to go ahead and go through. Lakeisha, I give it a B minus.
Okay.
So my mind kept drifting, wondering what was going on the other side. Oh, other was Solo and Juliette. The other side was Solo and Juliette. Yeah. Dr. Deb says B minus or C plus. Maybe it was just my frame of mind while watching, but I had a harder time feeling engaged in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, Brogu B plus. Jeeves C minus. I thought the dialogue was weak. It didn't advance the storyline, and there are only 4 shows left before the season is over. It was like it took 42 minutes, and I need more Silo 17, please.
It is interesting you bring up the dialogue because nothing like dialogue wise was too complex.
It was
everything was straightforward. So yeah.
So yeah, mine as well, Keisha, because perhaps because most of what happened in this episode is predictable. Yes, I agree, Dr. Deb. Yes, I wanted to know what was going on in the silo with Solo and Juliette. So that kind of leads me to where I am. I give this a C. Just a C. For a lot of the reasons why everyone else was saying. Though I was enjoying the episode, I felt like I was only getting one side of the story. And the thing I like is because how they're a reflection of each other, right? I go back to From. The thing I like about From is like we see what happened in the past is kind of happening in the future. They're reflections of each other. So the more I know about 17, the more I know about 18. And when they go back and forth a little bit, it helps me like understand what's going on. When they find out more things about 17, I understand 18 a little bit more. And as I said, I pretty much predicted 2 or 3 things that already are going to happen. Like I saw it coming, in story writing. So I want to know more instead of, feel like I already know what's going on. I like to be shocked. I like to be, surprised. So when last week I said, hey, Lucas is probably going to end up being in the shadow. I wasn't surprised seeing him be in the shadow. When I see with the whole thing with Shirley and Knox, and it happens, I'm like, yeah, this is what's going on, and I'm not surprised by those things. So, but when things are happening in 17, even though it's hard because there's only 2 people, it still gives you insight to what's going on in 18. Because a lot of stuff would happen in 17, we don't know what led to it. So if we spent more time with Solo, maybe we hear more about what happened, the way it started happening. He starts to give us like little tidbits, and as he slips, we go back to 18. It kind of gives us that, oh, we know what's going to happen here, or this is what happened in 17, and then someone deviates from the plan, and then we say, okay, maybe they last a little bit longer. But I knew that she would. I would say Juliette was never going to walk out that door again. Never. He's not going to let that door open again. No, never. But maybe going down low, go under that tunnel, that makes a lot more sense. It might be the best direct connection, and then we also might understand more about other silos going that way. So I want that a little bit of the back and forth. Sometimes it's hard because you go on 2 different storylines, but when that storyline A helps you with storyline B, I need it, and that way I'm not missing the main person in this entire show, right? You can't have it's like when you read I read comic books, like you read a comic book and the main character's not in that comic book the entire time, right? Like you just gave me a whole comic book, it had nothing to do with the main character. This is a whole show, and we didn't see Juliette until the end. So it's hard doing that if it's supposed to be revolving around her.
Yeah. Also, like what you said, like that they are like mirroring each other, or they kind of have similar things going on. You have, and they're both kind of doing a civil war. It's just harder to do a civil war when it's just one person versus one person. Like so. I understand if that's what they're doing, like you said, if they're mirroring each other. Like, hey, all this is happening, but similarly, this is happening over there.
Or similarly, is this what happened?
Or what happened?
So we heard this is what happened in 17, and this is going to happen to 18.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But okay.
So, do we think that means that most of the Silo 18 will die as well? I don't think they opened the door. I don't think they ever opened the door.
I think somehow Juliette
saves
them. I don't know how yet. I don't know how, but I think she's gonna save them somehow.
I think those underwater tunnels are connected to silos. It's a way to get from one silo to another silo.
So they have to be.
Yeah.
And why they're all because at least 17, 18 are underwater. So I assume they're all underwater. It's an easy way to hide
stop people from going under there and figuring out. So I believe we're gonna find out there's a reason why they actually did that. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, if those two silos are underwater, I agree. I think all of them are underwater. And there's maybe something that happened where there was distension between all the silos or whatever, and they had to figure out a way to separate each silo from another silo, so that one revolution doesn't go into another one. You know what I mean? Instead of going outside, we're going into silo 17, right? So we got to flood this, and I believe that's when it's gonna happen.
It also could be that they are connected. You said that they're connected and through the fresh water system, because you need fresh water for a silo like this to continue to work. So they might have put as an underground fresh water system for all the silos to be able to tap into, and that's how they're all connected. But it's so dark and no one knows about it. They don't know that they're all connected.
Yeah. Also, no one knows how to swim, I'm guessing, because the
What's
only place where there's like enough water to swim is down there. So yeah.
So Lucas lives.
Lucas lives.
Good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a Merry Christmas. This is the way. Bye.
Bye, Burgu. Appreciate you.
Right. Good night, Burgu. Definitely. Thanks for coming in. I agree, Brian. Silo 17 reveals the human beings placed in the same and similar situation acting the same. Their actions are predictable, and that's why the order always has the solution. But Juliette is different.
It's the wild card. Yeah, because they never predicted that somebody lived. They went, you go outside, you die. So got the good tape, got that good stuff.
Unless water in 18 is just overflow via the tunnels from the 17 flood. I just think I'm telling you, all that water is like an underground river. You know how that
makes sense.
If you did something like in the Grand Canyon, they have a river underground that's right there, that you can build on top of, and they always have all of them connecting to fresh water that you will always need because that keeps them coming back.
Yeah.
And you probably couldn't use the water that's up there if it's poison, but underground it filters through rocks. That's that's the first filtration
a
system.
well.
Yeah,
like a giant well system kind of. Yeah.
Exactly. So
pump it out and
exactly, and then you can continue to live. So all of them are connected by it. That means if you get down there, you know where you're going, even though there's no light, you can get there. There's a big metal door that goes to another one, that'll go to another one, that'll go to another one.
And also, I think that's what he said in 17 is like they turn off the generator and it did something with the water, and I got to go back and watch it. But he said, like, it messed with the pump, right? And then like by the
So
time they decided to
tried
turn it back on, it was too late.
Yeah, they tried to flood them out, but by the time they tried to pump it back out, it was too late. The generator went out. They no longer have power from that, and the only reason they have power is because both judicial and IT had its own power bank.
Yeah,
coming from the side. Yeah,
which we gotta get into that too. Eventually, this external power.
Maybe that's where Boyd's boat went. The one we're talking about from. We're looking for. That's where it is. All right. They were like, "Well, what's sailing? What's boat?" All right, guys. Thank you for being with us, talking about all these things, breaking down this episode with us. That was 2 hours of us doing this. So I am loving that we were able to do this. And I'm loving that we were able to break this down, and you guys are coming with these great comments. I wanted to thank the panel we have here. Of course, my brothers. Got Anzo in here, Bigger for Entertainment. He's the man, the myth, the legend that taught us how to do any of this stuff. And we continue to do. We're going to take a little break but we will be back on Tuesdays right after New Year's Eve. That next Tuesday, let's come to From, and we will be breaking down episode 4 of season 1, then 5 and 6, and all the way back up. So by the time we get there, guys, we're gonna have some answers. So Anzo, shout out your channel real quick.
Guys, it's Bigger for Entertainment. Brian gives me way too much credit. You guys have been doing a great job before you even met me, so don't even worry about that, man. I'm just appreciate that you guys invite me on to, chill out and hang out with you guys, man. So thanks, appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, man.
Always. So. Us three, we're the Spoiler Kings. We're here doing this stuff, loving talking about this. Hope you guys continue to come in. Appreciate you saying you like the stream. He said this is always fun. As always, thank you. Appreciate. Everyone had has a good holiday. Yes, thanks. I found y'all late, but G's be here on time. We will be here at 9:00 next Saturday, breaking down the next episode. Anyway, so we're gonna continue to do this and having a good time and talking about all this stuff. And Jeeves asked us, what do you guys think George meant when he said the water isn't a problem and he made it to the door?
I just think that there's a way you can make it down there, right? We don't know how he did it yet, right? But I think he's meaning like it looks like it's deep, but you can get there.
It's really not.
Basically,
yeah.
I think it is deep. I think it is deep, right there. But it's just like an ocean, right? The ocean's deep in the middle.
There's like
but there's a drop off, right?
Yeah.
You get to the right place, you can just walk right up.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think once we find out, though, it's gonna be like really, that's all they had to do, that kind of thing.
So Nikisha says, I think the water just isn't that deep.
Yeah. I'm thinking there might be some kind of like switch or lever that helps like either drain, so you can walk up to it, or like some kind of like stairwell pops up so you can just like walk into it, or a tunnel. I don't know. Like I feel like it's gonna be something like simple, but like for us simple, for them it's like like out of this world. Yeah.
It's probably gonna be something like, if you had the lights, you'll know, you just walk over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like, if if you've been in the room before, the light switch is right there. But if you've never been in the room before and it's pitch black, you're over here smacking everything you don't know, like. Yeah.
All right, guys. That was a good last question. We will be here the same time next week talking about episode 7. We're Spoiler Kings. We go live on Mondays and Thursdays from 9:30 till because we've been going longer and longer. So this Monday we'll be definitely having all of our streamers on, people that come in that do other channels. We're gonna have them come in and visit for a little bit. We'll have everyone come in and talk and have conversations and have a good time. Then on Thursday we'll talk about it. for what we're going to figure out. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of shows that we can still knock out. Not to mention we have Sonic and Mufasa that we're trying to do. So yeah, guys, we have a whole lot of fun. Please like, subscribe, join us at any of our live shows. We love to have comments. We love to have that whole section. The chat is the other member for us. So thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
Peace.